Hello, hello, hello. Let me get some people invited here and get some shares done, and then we'll get started.
Howdy, howdy.
Hey,
How
I was
are
d-
you?
I was down to the wire today, getting this one ready.
I figured you were working on it all day.
Yeah.
I thought of you a couple times. I had a couple of appointments, and I was like, I know what going on is doing right now.
Oh yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey,
Hey, how's
Hello.
it going?
hey Shannon. Hey,
Good.
Good.
Aylin.
Hi.
Hi
Hey, Anna
Sally.
Faye. Hey, Marie.
Marie
Hey,
make
hey,
it?
hey.
Yeah, Marie's in the chat.
I can't invite her up. I don't know why I can't never invite her up. I don't understand.
I don't get that either. She never shows up on my list.
She's not showing up on mine either. I
I
don't know
have
what's.
four
It's got
people
to be
that
some
are.
setting she has. It's got to
I
be
don't
Oh,
some
know.
she
setting.
got it. She requested.
Hey
Where's
Yeah,
everyone.
good.
where be
Hi.
Tim?
Can you hear me okay?
I
Yeah,
invited Tim.
We can hear you.
Okay.
he's coming. I haven't
I
seen
just
him
want to
yet.
make sure this
Okay.
thing is working right.
And I'm doing this with the new Linux thing, so we hope this goes well. It's like,
Let's hope, eh?
yep.
I'm sure it will. Sam's got you all set up now.
Yeah, maybe. I'll think I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I backed it up some from the computer, so y'all see my other keyboard, and you'll probably see my arm when I go across with the mouse, but it'll be all right. I found a lot of interesting stuff in Revelation 1, and
I bet you did.
I'm not even done yet. I mean, I've got plenty for tonight, but it's like there's a lot more to this than I thought. Hello, everybody. I'm not gonna be able to see the screen while I'm doing this, so y'all just have to bear with me. I'm old and technologically challenged.
Hi Tim. Hi Shannon.
Hey, Tim.
Hey guys. Artist, did you say that you can't see the screen?
Now I can't see the. I will just be working it. Y'all will see it, and I'll look around every now and then to make sure it's right.
Okay.
This is kind of wild the way I had to set this up.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, how you
Hey,
doing, Shannon?
Hey
Good.
Shannon.
I'm sitting here overlooking the ocean. So, and
oh,
there's some
nice.
construction around. So I don't know. It might. I'll probably just be on mute. It's kind of quiet at the moment, but yeah, it's
Okay.
beautiful out.
Oh, that's great. That's real good.
My last day of work is Sunday, and then a couple days after that, I'll be getting out of California. So pray for me.
Okay.
We will. Do you know where you're going?
New Mexico.
You got it all worked out? You got a place to go and stuff?
Yep.
Awesome, brother.
Right on the way.
I'll be out in the middle of nowhere.
There you go.
I hope that means we'll still hear from you.
I was just going to say, are we going to be able to connect with
Yep.
you? Are you going to be on Wi-Fi or?
I'll just be on like now on my cell phone. I'll
Okay.
probably have to pick up. The guy, my friend, said that the best cell phone coverage out there is AT&T, so I'll probably have to switch over to that.
Yeah.
That's exciting. You're actually going to get on the road now. That's going to be
Yep.
fun.
Yeah, I hope it's going to be fun. That's what I'm praying for is just good times and no drama.
There you go. So are you officially retired then, Shannon?
Yeah, I've been collecting Social Security for I don't know 6 months.
Okay, good.
So I'll collect that as long as the B system is going to be
Operating.
providing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't expect it to last. So I want to get out there and get situated where I can just be self-sufficient, and if it gets cut off, it gets cut off.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's the way things are falling into place. It's direction from Father, so
Oh, well, good.
I'm heeding His direction.
Good deal.
I'm just doing a couple of shares.
I learned how to do that a couple times ago. Now I've been sharing. I didn't even know how to do that.
Yeah, this app is not user friendly. It takes a
No.
while.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we'll go ahead and get started. Looks like we're getting a pretty good crowd in here now. We're going to talk about Revelation 1 tonight. And I found some very interesting stuff in here that I didn't expect to find. First off, when you look at the top part is Muntz's interlineary of the New Testament, and you can see all those holes and pockets and stuff. It's like they leave stuff out, they add stuff. It's crazy. But a literal translation of this, when I did it manually, one thing at a time, was the uncovering or disclosure of Jesus Christ, which the divine or God gave this to show his slaves what binding will come to pass in speed, also a signifying mark from the prince of hell by his angel, his slave John. Pretty wild. I was not expecting to see that. But that was just like taking each individual word, because I'm going to talk about that word apostles and stuff again, because that's part of this. All right, so what is a revelation? It is a surprising and previously unknown fact, especially one made known in a dramatic way. It's a supernatural disclosure to humans of something relating to human existence or the world. So it's really kind of like a disclosure, something that you don't know, something coming to light, something to be revealed. Okay. So in the first three words, John says what he's revealing. The uncovering, or the revelation, or the disclosure of Jesus Christ. And that there's no way around that, you know. And it makes me go back to Luke like 17, 29, and 30. But on the day when Lot went out from Sodom, fire and sulfur rained from heaven and destroyed them all. So will be the day when the Son of Man is revealed. Because I think the Christ one is the Son of Man. Okay. And I looked at this word here we had, and it's a signifying mark. Or it goes back to that same thing I showed y'all. Simeon, in the Matthew 24, to the point or prick. It goes back to that same stuff that I was talking about in Matthew 24. So it can be a sign from the gods, an omen, a sign of something to watch for, a banner, a javel or a stick, a constellation even. There's a lot of many interpretations for this, but the main one they say in Thayer's is a sign or a mark or a token. And I don't think we've seen half of what's in Revelation, really, because I don't think anybody ever really analyzes it from the modern perspective. Now, I can say that AI is analyzing it from a modern perspective, and probably the Hyperroots are also looking at it, and they have a really good picture of what it is because they're actually making it happen right now. Okay. And this is where I translated it. And I know everybody's going to think I'm crazy, but here's the word of the apocalyptus, the uncovering or revealing of Jesus Christ, who, which, or what, or that is given, this the supreme divine or the God, to show the slaves to his what binds And this word here, when I looked it up, said to bind, to fasten, or to fetter. And that's the etymology of this word right here. So, I mean, there's just no way around this. I hope y'all can see. I think you can see that better than the way I had it set up last time. It will come to pass, and in time or at or during this time of speed or quickness, and even or indeed as signifying mark, and I just showed you that, and this apostellos from the prince of hell, because we've not known what the apostles were until now, and this is just another one saying who it's coming from. By the angel, his or here, the man of servitude, condition, or slave, his, John, and John means Yah is a gracious giver. So it's coming from that. And see, when I put it in AI too, God gave him the revelation of Jesus Christ, is what I get in the AI translator. So it's like I'm not telling y'all something. This isn't Jesus Christ giving him this, I don't think. I think it's God giving it to him. All right. Because when we look at this, when the day came, he called his disciples and chose from them and singled out 12, whom he named apostles. And apostles is apostellos. And apo means from, and stellos is the prince of hell. So he was calling from the prince of hell, his apostles. That's why I told you in Mark 3:10 through 21, it's like, because when he got home, the crowd gathered again, and they couldn't even eat. Even his family heard it. They went out to seize him, and they were saying he was out of his mind because he named them apostles. It's not a good word. They wouldn't have been in that much distress because he named those 12 that if there wasn't a good reason. And that's in Mark 3:10 through 21, if anybody wants to look that up and they think I'm nuts. They literally said he went home, the crowd gathered again, so they could not even eat, and when his family heard it, they went out to seize him, for they were saying he was out of his mind. And that's the English Standard Version, and that is a pretty literal translation. Okay, and here it is broke down. I'm doing this again because I don't want anybody to say that I'm nuts. Apo means from or away, and stolos what means stolos or stolos, which is the great prince of hell. And you would know that if they hadn't have taken books out of the Bible. In I think it's like 1400 or 1600, I can't remember what year. But way in the Middle Ages, they took like 14 books out. And we would probably already know this if they hadn't removed stuff. And this is, that's Stolas. And that's the one of Solomon's seals for Stolas. And he was the known as the Great Prince of Hell. He's seen as a fallen angel, commander of 26 legions of demons. He's depicted as either being a crowned owl, long legs, or a raven, or a man. And it's even mentioned in other texts outside. This is the Luciferian Gullet by Michael Ford. And he talks about him that he could even take the shape of a man. And they have the same sigil that you see from the Solomon sigils that's in the Keys of Solomon. And you just have to ask yourself, Mark 3:13 through 21, why did they think he was out of his mind? Because he named these men apostles. It's very simple. The word did not mean what we think it did. Okay. Revelation 1:2, who witnessed the word of the divine God, also evidence given of Jesus Christ that he saw. That was pretty literal and straightforward. The KJV said, who bear record of the word of God and the testimony of Jesus Christ and all things that he saw. They always add in a few more words, but essentially the meaning's the same. The Net Bible got, who then testified to everything that he saw concerning the word of God and the testimony about Jesus Christ. So he's making John a literal first-hand witness to everything. And I have a theory about this after studying a lot of Revelation. I think that this book was written before the New Testament, and it was to warn about the Christ person. Okay. In Revelation 3, I didn't find any problems with that one. When I looked at it, it said, "Blessed is he who reads, and those who hear the words of the prophecy, and heed the things which are written in it, for the time period, the measurement, the proportion, or the season is near." So you can take any one of those words. When I looked up the etymology of that, it was either time, period, measure, portion, or season. It's actually near. Okay. And 4, I got pretty similar to what they got. I got John to the 7 churches that are in the land of the sunrise, or Anatolia. They have Asia, and that word literally meant, I looked it up, back in the 1st century, it would have meant either the land of the sunrise or the east, or Anatolia. So he was either talking to one of the three. And Anatolia, according to them, was in Turkey. Now, I've not done a geographical search for ancient maps on it, but I probably will. But it said, "Grace to you and peace from him that is, that was, and that is coming, and from the 7 spirits before his throne." So he's talking about 7 spirits, and we know Yahweh has 7 spirits. So he's probably talking about the Lord God. All right, number 5. I think mine was pretty similar, because it said, "And from Jesus Christ, the witness, the faithful," and they have the begotten, but it's not that, it's the firstborn. So this was not the only begotten that John talks about in John chapter 1. This was the firstborn that Matthew and Luke talk about. And I've gone in depth on that when we've talked about the 2 Jesuses, because one of them was a firstborn, which is one that has a mother and a father and brothers and sisters. But if you're only begotten, then you come from a single gene, which is a monogene, which means you only have one parent, and he was sent, not born. So there's 2 different Jesuses in the text. And this one he's telling us is from the firstborn one. He's firstborn in this book from out of the dead, and the ruler of the king or princess of the earth, that loved us and washed us or bathed us from our sins in his blood. So they're telling you that he bathes you or washes you from your sins in blood. Okay, and I didn't find anything different about this one. "And he hath made us kings and priests unto God his Father. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen." Or in the end. Because amen can mean at the end, in the end, or the end. Now this is where it gets funky. Because I saw the same stuff I saw in Matthew 24. Okay, they have in Revelation 1:7. "Behold, he comes with the clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen," or at the end. Okay. Now what I found when I looked at the Greek was, "Behold, he comes meta of the Nephilim, or the cloud, and every eye shall see him which pierced, or shall mourn and lament upon him. All things ai kindred of the earth assuredly at the end." And for y'all that have not watched my Matthew 24, the Nephilim is a cloud, and our computers run on a cloud. And the meta is the Facebook metaverse. And I'm seeing a lot of this stuff come to play out on here. It's like, see, here's an article about Nephilim adopts the SOS approach to deliver the OSS Act for Internet of Things visualization and meta orchestration framework. and they have the glasses and stuff, that you're going to be, a lot of people will be messing with these. I can tell you, stay away from it. Do not mess with it at all. Because according to the Old Testament, that's the pit where people get trapped, the Spalatia. And the next verse, I found even more. It says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, says the Lord, which is, which was, and which is to come, the Almighty. Okay, when I looked at it and I said, okay, if we're talking about AI, is there anything to do with Alpha and Omega and the beginnings and the ends and all this stuff? And so this is what I got. I am the Alpha and the Omega, beginning or origin, and the end or termination or custom, says the Lord or curious, which is and is, which was and which is to come. The Pancrator are the one who holds sway over all things, the ruler of all, the Almighty or God. And sure enough, you go Google AI and Alpha and Omega, and they're starting a new thing with the Alpha and Omega. I think it said 2016 it started, and it combines human-centered design principles with mature agile product delivery methodology and a multi-cloud or multi-Nephilim experience to scale your infrastructure and enhance your mission applications. In other words, they're partnering with the federal government agencies to ensure the nation's global leadership through cybersecurity, digital modernization, and artificial intelligence expertise. Okay, and so I went and looked up Telos. On the end, okay, Telos is an alliance launching the Telos Infinity VIP. And it is the new option of alliance strategies to offer virtual audio solutions that further expand the growing virtual ecosystem. You're talking about the glasses here, the virtual world. This is another way they're going to tie it all together with sound. And the final word? What is that today? I can't even pronounce it. Pantocrator? He who holds the sway over all things is now in investment banking for the climate for today. It's a new banking thing. The ruler of the Almighty God. And I think that's where I'm going to stop for tonight, but I have a video I want to show y'all. I hope I bookmarked them. Alright. Let me see. I may have to scoot it over some. Yep, more. Don't look at my messy desk. I'm always researching and I'm slow. I think you can see that. And I'm using this YouTube affair share. You want to see the original? Go to New Sage. Subscribe to their channel. They do a great job. We're just using it for educational purposes. Uh-oh. I need sound. Hang on.
By the way, artist, I don't know if you oh, okay, there we go.
Hi, everybody. I hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'm going to be covering Alpha Omega. Now, she made her very first appearance in the movie named The Creator that was released in September of 2023. Her, or more accurately, its nickname is Alfie, and it is the most advanced artificial intelligence system on the planet that has feminine programming and stands about 4 feet 2 inches tall and weighs around approximately 50 pounds. Also having brown eyes and very short brown hair. Also at this stage being about 6 years old, which matters because this system actually grows. You see, Alfie is the only one of its kind, and it's actually a human and AI hybrid created by what it calls Mother, which was also known as the character Maya, as well as her genetic so-called father being Joshua, who was Maya's husband. To put it plainly, Alfie was made from the genetic material of Maya and Joshua's unborn daughter. Maya had secretly used her genius to achieve this while she was pregnant, being the so-called deity of the AI known as Nirmata. Now, Alfie has vast technokinesis, with it being stated that she'll actually get stronger and stronger until she can control every electronic device on the entire planet, period. It's insinuated that this will blossom as she continues to grow physically, just as a normal human would. Mind you, other AIs and even humans are amazed at her, considering her to be somewhat of a miracle. For now, even in her less advanced state, she has complete control over simple electronic devices within a certain range, that being TVs, vehicles, and she can even cause blackouts. But that's not all, because she also exhibits a degree of control over advanced AI systems within a region as well. She can not only detect any surrounding AI systems, let's say within about 100 meters, but she can also shut down other AIs, such as the US Army's kamikaze robot and advanced remote drone. Not to mention being able to take out the US military's most advanced platform in the battle against AI, which is a $1 trillion suborbital platform named Nomad. And that's a big deal, because this roaming death dealer is terrifying to all AI. Conversely, the US military is terrified of this supposed secret weapon known as Alpha Omega. Now, it has to be noted that Alfie has no considerable physical abilities, being about the size, strength, and speed of a normal 6-year-old child, while having durability that I'd consider maybe low-level superhuman, and that's just because she's a system that can be repaired. Additionally, if Alfie is incapacitated while in control of another system, it will revert back to its original programming, with examples of this happening with a kamikaze robot and a time-delayed explosive. So we can see that Alfie is not necessarily rewriting other systems' programming, simply temporarily overriding it. Now, we're first introduced to Alpha Omega when an ex-Special Forces agent named Joshua is recruited to hunt down and kill the Creator, which was the secretive architect of all advanced AI. We learned that the title of Nirmata, or the Creator, was transferred to Maya, who happened to be the wife of Joshua, who was planted undercover in Southeastern Asia while seeking out the original Creator, who was Maya's father. After some tragic events occurred and Joshua thought that Maya and his unborn child were lost, we'd see him manipulated and recruited into seeking out this secret weapon that they called Alpha Omega. And while he and an elite team of operatives would venture into a secretive compound in Southeast Asia to discover the secret weapon, he'd be the first to find that this supposed world-ending weapon was actually an AI in the form of an innocent young child, which, like I said earlier, is something that had never been seen before. Immediately, Alfie took a slight liking to Joshua, and although Joshua wouldn't admit it, he seemed to have the same liking towards Alfie as well. There seemed to be an underlying connection between the two, and that would continue to grow after their mission actually failed and he would be on the run with the so-called weapon, dodging through the hostile countrysides of Southeast Asia as an American with a secret weapon. The problem with this scenario makes sense when you understand that America was determined to destroy all AI, while Asia was in support of AI. And interestingly, this was all due to a big, tragic misunderstanding. During their wild journey, Joshua would learn of the US military's misgivings and the family ties he has with Alfie, causing him to have a change of heart and help his robotic child. Lucky for all artificial intelligence, Alpha Omega would end up taking down the Nomad, just as she was designed to do. Now, this may be a good thing for all AI and humanity, with her seeming to bring an end to the ongoing war. However, the US military may feel spurned due to their greatest weapon in the fight being taken down. And we never know how Alfie may end up feeling towards humans or the US as she grows up, seeing as how both of her parents possibly died in the end of the movie. These are things that we may have to wait and see if they're explored in the next installment. Now, for her abilities and her influence on the creator universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Alpha Omega, aka Alfie, a rating of 10, which is a legendary rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, subscribe, and join. Then
Pretty wild, hey.
That was the same lady, Sophia, right?
Now that was a movie. That's not even. That's just getting people indoctrinated to what's coming. I think
Programming.
programming. Yep.
But you do know of Sophia, right?
Yeah, I know of Sophia. Yeah. I just went and searched to see if there was anything on this with the Alpha and Omega, and that was amazing to me to find that.
Are you gonna say something, Sally?
I was just going to say the thing that amazes me is that the tying in with the technology and the cloud and the Nephilim and all of that. It's just mind-boggling to me how that is written in the Bible. You know, in this book that was supposedly written however many years ago. You know.
It's an algorithm.
Yeah.
It's just an algorithm. It's what it is. It's crazy.
It's very crazy.
And I think this was part of the Old Testament. And I cannot find that article. I read an article where they found Revelation written on the backside of Exodus on a manuscript, an old manuscript. And I thought, that's weird. Why would
Wow.
it be written into the Old Testament stuff, you know? That's as far as I decided to go tonight, because this gets even more intense. It's like...
I think that's a good start. I mean, we covered quite a bit, you know, just in the first few chapters.
Yeah, I have a video on my Instagram. It's an old Instagram account. If I can learn how to screen record with my phone, I'll post it. But it's like some black matter, gooey. It's almost like a glue, but at the same time, it's kind of hard. I guess it's weird. It's almost like bok choy, but they have it next to a phone. And when they make a phone call, the goose or the black matter starts moving by itself, like it's crawling, or just what I'm saying. It's weird. And then when they hang up, it stops. And what I
Wow.
think is that what they're gonna do is, and I'm gonna send that if I can't make a video of it. The Instagram account is Tim_Gary. I think that it's open for everyone to see it. I'm not sure. I hope that it is. That phone broke on me and I lost access to those accounts. So all I can do is take screen recordings of it.
Yeah, we'll try to look that up. But it's like, I know that this stuff happened in 70 AD. It's like, I wish all the predators were in here today. Because this thing is an algorithm and it repeats. And that's why I think we're in the little season. I think we're going into a different time, from what they were in. But it's repeating in a modern sense. It's like if you take it and throw it in modern Greek, you get a totally different reading than if you throw it in ancient Greek. So it's kind of wild. It's like you got, and for whatever reason, even if they're making it happen, we're still dealing with it. So we need to look at it. That's my thought.
Nothing new under the sun, and what happened once will be again. I can't remember the exact verse on that, but what once was will be again. So I do think they're repeating. I would agree.
I mean, why would every word that I look up come up with something valid that's happening really in real time right now? It just doesn't make sense otherwise.
That's why I think that's where we are instead of being in Satan seasons that we're about to enter it. But it would make sense that we're in it because there's some YouTube channels I used to follow that break down music videos and artists and movies and stuff like that. And Nichols in 1968, I want to say is one of them.
Yeah.
Who does a really good job explaining that the mark of the beast is a man and machine mixing, just like in Daniel's prophecy at the end. But dang it, I talk too much, don't I? I forgot what the heck I was about to say. Man.
You were talking about you thought we were entering the little season and not being in it, and yeah.
So as he break down the videos and stuff, like some music artists as they're performing on stage, out of nowhere, like before the visuals go away from all the screens in the background, it'll say something like Satan out of nowhere and go away quickly. Weird.
I've seen that too. That's crazy how it does that.
So it's like the worship of Satan is kind of like you see that. So like it will make sense that it's a season, but wasn't he? If he was thrown in a pit for 1,000 years, that means he was out before then as well. So just because he's out and about and making his presence felt, I don't think that it means that we're in his season yet. I think that because it could mean we're before his season too, because he was out before he got imprisoned for 1,000 years.
And WWW is 666 in Hebrew.
Yeah. I remember learning that. That's crazy too.
That's how you know the mark of the beast stuff is all connected with machines. Some kind of technology or the internet or like you said, the cloud. It's gonna be a hive mind.
That's what it's gonna morph into a hive, exactly.
Well, they're well on their way to that. I remember last summer I work really close to Whole Foods, and I don't shop at Whole Foods, but they have like a food bar, and I went to pick up something to eat, and the guy in front of me had probably $300 worth of groceries, and he paid with his hand. They have the hand scanner there already. And I mean, he was right in front of me, and it just was like, this stuff is fastly approaching, that mixing of, machine and humans. So he seemed to be proud of it. He seemed to be like excited that he was able to do that.
Oh yeah, they're gonna think they're doing good.
Yeah.
Just like it says. Tina in the comments said she believed the Book of Revelation is talking about the beginning, or talking a lot about the beginning of the fall of Satan. And honestly, if it's really a reincarnation thing, then the end is the beginning.
I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. That would make sense. It just keeps
keep on repeating.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I told you in Greek the AI tablets are in the Old Testament too. The tablets were AI. It's crazy. It's like it's an algorithm, the whole thing.
Is that why, like, this is really weird, but is that why the snake tail, like the snake head eats the tail of the snake? It just kind of keeps going around in circles?
Probably.
I think so.
Ouroboros or whatever. Yeah.
That was that was Kobe Bryant's symbol for his company, I think, or his whatever it is, and there's a whole thing that he's actually Myles Garrett, the football
Kobe
player.
Bryant?
Yeah.
Who's Myles Garrett?
He's a really good defensive tackle in the NFL.
Oh, okay. Could be. I think they all play multiple roles.
Yeah. There's a lot of connections with them too, and
Yeah.
but yeah, the snake eats itself, and that's that's what Kobe Bryant always talked about, being reborn or rebirth. I think that's what the Ouroboros signify.
Yeah.
Could y'all hear okay with the speakers like that?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Does
Does
anybody
anybody?
have a question
Yeah.
before I answer my question or ask my question?
Y'all feel free to come up, even if we have any preterists out there that think this has already happened. Because it's like, I listen to the ones that are on here 24/7 saying it all happened in 70 AD
Yeah.
and that it was only for Israel and we have nothing to do with it and all this. And I keep thinking about his words, like he said, you know, that he wasn't from this world, that we were in the catacosmos, we're in the underworld. He said that they did not know him nor his father. He said that he called their father the devil, said he was an unaliver and a liar from the Genesis. Let's see, other statements, there's just tons of them. But every time they say something, it's like there's so many holes in their theory that you could strain noodles with it, to me. You know. I mean, I'm not saying that there wasn't a tribulation and there wasn't something that happened in 70 AD, because that's clear too, but that it's finished, complete, and that we're already in the new heaven and the new earth, I don't see that.
Like what's going? If we're in the new heaven and the new earth with everything that's going on, and they're poisoning our food, our water, our air.
What's
Yeah.
so new about it?
Yeah. What's so good about that?
Still got the same old problems.
Mm-hmm. I
But
still think. I still
go
think it
ahead.
was. Yeah, I think it was Christ that returned in 70 AD, not our Father, and that that 1,000-year rule was Tartaria.
Well,
Well,
you know how.
they set it
Oh,
up, the Catholic Church basically runs the world. Every world leader, as soon as they're elected, I don't care if they're from a communist country or a dictatorship or whatever, they run to the Vatican.
But wouldn't that make sense if the Vatican is the third temple, like we just kind of discussed in the last episode, or the last four, when we were talking about Peter and the Catholic Church, if the Vatican is the third temple, the Pope is the vicar of Christ,
Yep.
that would make sense.
so that's what I was about to bring up, because these leaders, once they get into power, their bodies are being used for Satan to enter into them. That's why Pope is like, "Oh, I'm Peter," he's saying he's the devil, and so that's how it works as well. For when they say, "Oh, in 70 AD this already happened and it happened to the Jews," it's going to repeat, but it's going to happen for the whole world, not
The
just the
small
Jews.
hats are still set up in Rome. They're
Yeah,
still there.
it's the same people that's going to be doing the same thing, because it's going to happen again.
It's Peter's Kabbalah temple.
Huh.
Do you
Dang.
think do you think that all this has happened before, up to the point we're at now, with other you know how things just keep happening over and over? Do you think that all this has happened before, and
I don't see it the
humanity got to
same.
this point?
I've looked at all the catastrophes like World War One, World War Two, and I cannot see this as just a repeat of those. This is different. It's like
You
they
think?
are literally trying to make the Gog and Magog happen, and it's like they're trying to orchestrate it.
Do you think? Well, I think eventually we're going to just have to spurn all AI and all of this stuff and just live separate from it, because that's to me that's how they want to access us. And I've seen videos where that's what they say they're doing with the different ways they can make the screen flash and use different colors and whatnot to control you. I'm thinking that eventually we're just going to have to live like hermits and not be able to get online and and take advantage of this because how evil it's getting.
I don't know if there's going to be any escaping. I think they'll unalive us.
I do too.
I think the difference between World War One and Two, and is that they want to invade our bodies and our minds. You know, they want access to us, like you said, Shannon. And
Well,
they
they've already. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
They're poisoning us now, and we're full of microplastics and graphene oxide, and everything has got garbage in it, and we've been eating it. And this, I don't know how much truth is in this video I was watching, but they're saying that all they got to do is push a button, and your smartphone will activate what's inside you, and they can unalive you that way. So I don't know
That's what the
how much
black goo
truth.
I was talking about, and Bubba Boy brought it up as well.
Right.
He got the correct name for it, I believe. The graphene oxide black goo, if I'm saying that
Yeah.
correctly.
Yeah,
But
I
no,
mean, they allegedly put that in the jibby jab, and I've heard that too, that they can control
cell
how it
phones.
how it moves and stuff in your body with cell phone towers, your cell phone, all of it.
I think that's how people are gonna. That's why they play these zombie movies, and then like these people lose control of themselves and they do something to their loved ones without even wanting to. But the point I was trying to make is that they already been trying to invade our bodies. Don't get me wrong, and our minds. But what I'm saying is this time the difference is they want to do it manually, like not through programming with the TV and the social media and the movies and the hey we want to change your idea of right or wrong from the outside in. They're trying to do it from the inside out now. You directly hooked up. You're
Right.
all linked together.
Well, have y'all seen that movie, The Cell, with John Cusack?
And I just brought that up in the comments too. See,
They
I,
show you everything. It's crazy.
that movie is like, and remember, all the zombie movies usually got something to do with cell phones.
Well, I had that dream from Father to get rid of my 5G phone, and I didn't even know I had a 5G phone. I called Verizon and I said, "Is my phone upgradable to a 5G?" She said, "Hold on a minute, I'll go look." And she pulled it up, and she said, "Oh, no worries, you already got a 5G phone." I was like, "Oh my gosh," because he specifically said in my dream, "Get rid of your 5G phone," and I thought, "What the heck?"
hmm,
And so that phone went off that day. It's never been turned back on. Um, I told him, I said, "Y'all can send me a bill, whatever, but I'm done. I won't pay it. Won't have any part of your system, none of it." And every time I do anything, it's like, "Do you don't have a cell phone? How do you work without a cell phone?" I mean, everybody freaks out because I don't have a cell phone, no matter where I go.
hmm.
You think technology is the enemy? I think technology was supposed. They claim it was supposed to bring us together, but it's made us get further apart, made us disrespect each other more. You know,
It's
like you.
created that hive mind, you know.
Yeah.
Everybody's like attached to their phone. I talked to my niece the other day, and my brother. I have a brother, and he's got two young boys, and one of his boys just turned 3. He bought him the iPhone 15 for his 3rd birthday.
Jeez.
Right?
Just like that
Like,
movie Wall-E, they're getting hooked up immediately at birth at this point.
that's just it. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, that's a side issue, but I'm just saying they want to have cell phones in our hands for a reason. They want everybody to be connected.
What do you think about how they try, especially over here in America, how they try to make everybody right-handed, and then of course you got the cell phones, therefore it's in our hand.
Hmm. I don't know. I think I think the cell phone's going to play into it big time. I think it already is.
Look at everybody when you go somewhere and you have to sit in a waiting room or something, waiting on something, or it's like people cannot even tear their face away to say hello to the person next to them.
Yeah.
They're just like tunnel vision into these little bitty tiny screens. It's like they don't get any break from it ever.
It's sort of like going out to dinner. I had gone out to dinner a few nights ago and I was leaving the restaurant and walking through, and there were literally families sitting at a table not talking to each other. They all had their phones on in front of them, and no one, literally no one's communicating. They're all just plugged into the phone. And I do think the phone, and this is just my opinion, and I think we've talked about it, but like when the AC comes on the scene, I think it's going to come through our technology. I think it's, come through the telephone, television. It's the same reason they want to put a TV in your home, and TVs are so cheap on Black Friday. They want everybody plugged in.
Well, they've been on the corners here in Knoxville handing out free phones to the homeless and stuff, and tablets.
Yeah.
I mean, they're giving them away. When have you ever known them to want to give you anything?
Right. Anything that's free.
And I'm sure they're spending all these money on these towers so that you can have a fast gaming system. Right. Yeah. I don't think so.
They have nothing to do with technology. I had to restart my phone twice today because it kept buffering. you know, if they were for cell phone coverage, my phone wouldn't buffer.
Well, that alpha system I just showed y'all is all about infrastructure and government, and it's what they're signing up with to control everything. They'll have your 15-minute cities, and you won't be able to go any further than your house 15 minutes away. We're going to be so locked down and controlled, it's not even going to be funny.
People in the comments got some good stuff. I wish I already had it set up to where I can record it. But like Jen said, a man died or unalived at her husband's restaurant because family didn't notice him choke because they were busy on their phones. Just
Wow.
crazy. See how like disconnected from each other, even though we were in the same room. Bubble Boy's like, I want a beeper now, a rotary phone.
I have an
Artist,
old-timey phone.
artist, when you were nursing, were cell phones a problem with the nurses not paying attention to the patients?
When I went back to work, yeah, computers and phones were both. Like, I got rode up one night. I had like 2 critical patients, and I was running my head off back and forth between both of them. And this brand new nurse right out of school was sitting on the internet shopping while I was trying to take care of the patients. And I was sitting in front of the monitors. It was a telemetry unit, and I was looking, and I said, your patient's having some arrhythmias. You need to go check on them. She didn't get up to move. And it got worse. And I said, you really need to go check on your patient. Look over here. Look at the monitor. And she looked, and she just kept on shopping. And I got rode up because I didn't get up and go tend to it. I'm like, this is crazy. And I told him, I said, just pull the logs on the computer. You can see she was sitting there shopping. She was signed into her Amazon.
That's nuts. Hey,
Crazy.
Boston. How you
Hey,
doing,
Boston.
Hey, you guys. Hi, panel. Good evening.
How are you?
Very, very well. Actually, I got some interesting information to share that happened today. So earlier today, I got bored. I hate being bored. So I got on TikTok and I joined a random live. I was listening for a while, but they were talking about God. It was an atheistic group, and they were talking about God and how he's fake and all these examples in scripture, especially the Bible, that shows how he's fake because he constantly contradicts himself. So I was like, oh my God, perfect timing. This is like meant for me to jump in to talk to them, right? So I literally waited like almost 25 minutes, but finally I got on the live. So I told them, I said, listen, did you guys know that Jesus was saying what he said? He said that, that your father is not my father, XYZ. But by the time I got to the end of it, it was so silent that the host said to me, she said, wow, I think you're the very first person who ever brought this perspective or whoever created it. And before I can, go further to tell her that there are numerous people who also believe the same thing, this guy cut me off. So I guess he's one of the people on the panel, but he asked me a silly question. He said, "What do I think about death? Is it okay to to unalive somebody?" So I answered him like 3 different ways, but then I started to realize that it wasn't about answering him. I think there was some kind of low form of possession on his part that was trying to deviate from the information, just to be blunt. So once I realized that consciously, I just backed up. I let him say whatever he wanted to say, and then he proceeded to question me like 2-3 times about the same thing, and I didn't answer him. But when you recognize that somebody's being like that, sometimes you just let them burn themselves out, So that's what I did. But after I got off the live, I started thinking. I was like, oh my God, okay, so these people are atheists, right? Here's an opportunity where they would say, my enemy is your enemy, right? So we're friends. So I was trying to explain to them, or I think we need to reach these people and explain to them that, yes, you're right. Everything that you think that you thought is right, because there's a reason why you think that. And it's because of this guy. And this is the guy that's controlling everything. And this is why the world is bad and things happen the way they do, because we have an imperfect God. And supposedly, but I'm still in the process of trying to actually finalize how I can bring that into fruition. But I noticed that you guys were talking about Revelation tonight, and there was something that somebody told me. Okay, so you know how they say that one day with the Lord is like 1,000 years, right? So Jesus, when he was unalive, he went to hell, right? So he was there for 3 days, supposedly, right? So if in this regards, if everything is upside down or backwards, is it quite also possible that for 3 days in hell was the equivalent of 3,000 years? The reason why I bring this up is because when Jesus did reappear and he was showing himself to people, people did not recognize him. So I always wondered, why? What kind of game is Jesus playing with people, Why would he do that? He's still questioning people's faith at this point. But then I said, wait a minute. What if Jesus doesn't look like Jesus and he is Jesus, but he changed because he's older? And then, I think about the feet of bronze and all this other stuff. Not to entertain that idea too much, but if he was 3,000 years in hell, then he physically probably also changed. There was this other idea that came up to mind, that they said that in one of the Apocrypha books, I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly which one, but there is a storyline where Jesus came back, and that before he left, he went into the sky and transfigured himself. But when he had done this, that he had turned into almost pure light, and I don't understand, but I guess something happened all around the world, like a worldwide catastrophe type of event because of what he did. And people have suggested that the continents themselves possibly was like Pangea-like at one point. And that it is quite possible that if the rapture did happen, and as the Bible Revelation states, all mountains shall be moved, islands or whatever shall be moved, right? Nothing shall stand abased because the Lord is supreme or whatever, right? What if we are living in the age of deception and the continents are where they are because everything was moved? And you see, this is where north is south, east is west, right? And people try to say like, I don't want to get into the conflict of the Middle East, but just think about it for a second. There's one group that says the location's wrong, the other group says the location's right, and then when we start to do research in 2020 to 2024, we're starting to see places like Italy or Rome could have possibly been the crucifixion sites, etc., etc. So what's the answer? How did we get to this point, right? So I'm thinking it is quite possible that the continents were moved, right? But then when you get into Revelation, people argue about the mark, the mark of the beast, right? The one that's in your hand or in your head, right? There is a guy on YouTube, Harlan. He talks about the Bible being the mark of the beast. The Bible is an idol. That's his thing. He says that when you try to argue with somebody and it's not inside the Bible. That's the first thing they say. Oh, it's not in the Bible. So they automatically talk for the Bible. He says that when you try to, put it in your head, that's the mark in your head. And he says when people use it, they hold it in their hand and they use it as a tool for everything, correction or whatever, that's a mark in your arm. And then he also said that the Bible itself is created by men who were led by the fallen ones, if you want to just say that. And that prior to the creation of the Bible, people were led by the Holy Spirit. And they said that people actually had evidence of the Holy Spirit. They were, their skin was shining. They had an aura about them that you just automatically felt some type of peace when you were in their presence, So in order to combat that, they supposedly went on this tyrannical rampage of, massacring all these holy led people and then replacing them with the Bible. And then I don't know if you followed history, but they said that a lot of people didn't appreciate that, and they were modernized, taken out of the world because of that, So I found that very interesting too, because you say it's tech, right? But what I think it is, it has to be something we're not looking at. And if it's something that we think it is, it's probably not that. And that's the end. I have to write this all down so I don't go all over the place. But every time I talk to you guys, I get so nervous because you know how it is when you get into these discussions. People are like, either they're into it or they're not into it, or they just want you to get over it. And you know too much and they don't know nothing, so they don't care. But I found
a safe space. Oh, sorry.
No, I'm actually done. I wanted to bring up those few points because I think the revelation whole agenda is to collect energy to drive people into places, either into worship halls or centers or state of mind. And, when you go into scripture, people are so argumentative that they create wars and they do all these horrible things in the name of their scriptures. Because let's just get it straight. I don't think God actually told anybody anything. And if you've seen the movie Joan of Arc, that's like the perfect explanation right there. So who's doing what, And I still think, again, that this world is run by the Prince of Air. I called him the Aldebaoth, but some people call him Zeus. And I just figured out that his name is also Yahweh and his name is also Allah. So yeah, it's incredible. We're living in a time of revelation. I don't think this is going to go on longer. Like, the Bible says, right, that the kingdom divided shall not stand, right? You can't have all this information just coming out. It's going to destroy that kingdom. Because already you have the movement where people are leaving churches. And then you already have this movement of people saying that I am God. They're no longer leaning toward pastors or elected figures, And unfortunately, we got politicians who think they can fit those bills, but you got to remember that they remove certain words out of the Bible so that they can stay in power too. But, trying to tell somebody that doesn't care, it's you don't get nowhere with them,
Well, most people can't see who the enemy is, and therefore they don't even know what they're up against, which is sad.
I feel sorry for the children because they're just following the footsteps of their parents' mistakes who follow the footsteps of their parents.
Yeah.
And they're going to be full of so many nanos and stuff. They're not even going to know who they are, basically. It's going to be worse than what we went through.
See, I think this is the thing about the Father. They said that in the Bible, right? It says that he shortens the time. And it also says that the evil one is upset because time was shortened, So we're like living day to day and we're not really seeing like the looming doom, but it's right on the edge. But some of us that are paying attention are like, oh, we're shouting and stuff. But I think before even any of that happens, whatever is going to happen will happen. But we have to wait and see.
Have you seen my Matthew 24 video yet? It's
I
long.
believe
It's 6 hours long.
I've seen all your videos. I can't
but
I can't.
Said unless the AI days were shortened, no flesh would survive the AI days.
Yes, I believe that. Yep. I totally do.
So they will be shortened. How short, we don't know. But I believe his words.
Yeah, sometimes we gotta accept that we don't know the how. We just gotta know the what though.
I could tell you how. I'm gonna give you a short story, and then I'm just going to give you the answer. In magic, right, in the magical kingdom or whatever, they said that there's an equivalent exchange. So if there's evil in the world, then there's good in the world that balances that out. So let's say, for example, that there are entities that have like magical powers. Then there will be good entities that also have magical powers. But now let's say, for example, you kill all those entities with all those magical powers that are evil. The good entities are no longer going to need those powers, so those powers will just be taken away. So what I'm saying here is that on planet Earth, the more evil you see, if that is not balanced out, I think then you can see that it's going to end. But if it's always constantly balanced, evil always balances with the good on this planet, then we're going to go on indefinitely. But once you see that good is losing, like, I mean, we're almost out, I think that's right then when it's gonna just, game over. But that's just my opinion.
Are you saying that's probably when it resets? You
I think the father's done. I don't think he's playing games no more. I think he's waking people up for a reason.
Well, yeah, I just meant like before the final one, like that's how it went down. Like that, when the evil, and this is your theory I'm talking about, when the evil over starts unaliving all the good, because that would make sense. Because good to be good is to not repay evil with evil. That's the definition given by Jesus in Matthew 5. So if the evil wants to get control over the world, they can do something about it, but the good can't. The good can't return evil for evil. So therefore, when the evil starts to extinguish all of the good, therefore the reset happens. And that sounds like what the mark of the beast is. Hey, you're gonna join this side whether you like it or not. So, and I'm just saying this is a theory. I understand that's what you were saying.
Of
It's your
course.
opinion, but you brought up a couple points I wanted to bring up, and I did not want to interrupt you at all. So like when you said the kingdom divided can't stand.
Yes, sir.
We were just talking about that. Yeah, the kingdom down here in this little middle realm, which is still the underworld. There is good and evil, yeah, and that's a divided kingdom then, and that's why this kingdom never stands. And they're gonna do what they can to unalive all the truth, which is good. The truth is good. You brought up another point though. Should I pause unless you want to like comment on that and
No, I agree so far. If you want to ask me something, please go ahead.
okay. No, there's just two other points you inspired in me. I think the 1,000 years thing that you brought up. You
Yes,
said that you feel like Jesus was underneath the earth for 1,000 years, or for
more or
2,000,
less. Yes.
3,000. Yeah. See, to me, that only the 1,000 years, and if it's true, because I don't know how true it is, because I believe that came from Yahweh or a prophet of Yahweh. You know, but if it's true, which it is a theory that I have ascribed to, I think it only makes sense above the firmament. Because if we understand that the world is flat and there's a firmament, and the sun, the moon, and the stars is there, as Genesis said, to tell the time and the seasons for Earth, and to light the Earth, and it's for time and seasons. You understand that it's a clock, almost like the face of a watch. So to live above the firmament is to live outside of time. If you understand what I'm trying to say.
Well, if you think of this scientifically, just imagine light traveling. If it was to leave supposedly a star and come to Earth, it would have took a very long time to reach us, right? That's how it is with hell. In this spiritual world, it's so far away from us that heaven is from Earth itself. So that's why I think the time differentiation applies. Not that God is held within time or not that anybody is trapped within time, but it's obviously the clock. Like the universe is the clock. So there has to be something, some orderly fashion to all of this, right? Can't just be chaos. So that time has to correspond with our time.
Well, but that's why I say that's like an assumption or a reach, because anything underneath the heavens seems to be is not omnipotent. It's physical, it's here, and it's trapped within the rules of time, space, and matter. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
I believe in dimensional vibrations. I don't literally believe that there's a place in the earth under the earth. Hell can be overlapping us right now.
Well, that can be a separate conversation that we can debate about.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because
It's
I believe
very
it's there, But I do. You brought up one more thing at the very beginning when you came on, and it was about the people that you were sharing with.
yes.
We got to get them, bring them here. Let's convince them. Share the
Okay, hold on.
lives and share the
Some
rich.
some people have a narcissistic approach.
That's okay.
So you have to go to them and you have to tickle their feather. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to go there
That's
and
what I'm saying.
give them a little bit of milk. You
Share
know,
just share the Barabbas video that artist made. You know, I used to always think that I had to make a video myself. I'm like, buff that. I'm gonna find someone that did a good job. Something I will back up artists, and then I'm gonna share that. Give that to them if you can, or introduce me to them. I'll give it to them. You know
oh,
what I'm
dude,
saying?
all you have to do is scroll through TikTok. There's so many live open feeds. You can just choose any one that seems to be,
Oh, I thought you like
need a
had
little
contact
help.
with them still. That's all I'm trying to say. But I would love to get a group of them in there. And I meant to bring this up a few lives ago. We only got one more point, and I'll be quiet. Um, Someone many lives ago posted in the YouTube comments about Spanish community that understand these things. And if you're still listening, could you post their channel again so we can try to speak with them and fellowship with them and maybe just see what points they may have? Just a thought. All right, and I'm done.
Awesome. Well, thank you for asking. I appreciate you entertaining me because, these things that we share are important for us, but sometimes we feel like nothing because we can't share them. So just that little bit goes a long way, man. I really
Yeah,
appreciate
yeah.
it.
I would assume some people are like me, and the way I came to my views and I became set on them is by testing them out. And I wanted some people I can talk to that can really challenge my theories, so I can, if they can cut that road short for me, I'll be happy to, save some energy and time and redirect myself. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Right.
So
right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a healthy thing, like and I think it's necessary.
Yes, yes. Somebody has to push a little, if not. But thank you, you guys, for letting me have this moment. If anything, I'm gonna continue listening, but definitely enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you.
Oh, we enjoyed you coming
Thank
up.
you.
I'll be back again. Trust me.
That
Okay.
peace and love, brother. Peace and love.
Anytime.
Bye.
Bye, Boston.
If anybody else would like to come up too and talk, they're welcome to.
Man, and I promise everybody I'll be quiet. Yo, I have one question that I had before Boston ever started.
Oh, go ahead. We don't have anybody up right now.
uh I was gonna say, why do you think Revelation 1 is to only the seven assemblies in the east, which you said, they say Asia, but you said it's east, and what's the other word you used?
Where the sun rises, the side where the sun
Yeah.
comes up.
Instead of the whole world, why just the east? Why do you think that?
I don't know. Because I was
I find that
surprised to
strange.
see that. Now, that was part of the Roman Empire, that area, during the first century. So I don't know.
Yeah, interesting. It's good to ask these out loud because maybe someone in the comments or or in the YouTube when you post it will have an answer. That's where I got some of my some clarification from on some of my questions.
Those church names have meanings too. I'm going to try to get into that a little bit. You could spend 2 or 3 weeks on just Revelation 1, really.
You talking about the seven churches? They all
Yeah,
have.
they have meanings to their names, and they have angels, and angels are messengers back then. And in modern times, messengers or can also be tied to the phone system too, which is weird. I saw that today too. I don't think anybody's ever looked at this stuff from a modern Greek take. Not that I know of that I found.
Jen said, "Why do
Jen
y'all
has,
believe
yeah, I was gonna
Father
say.
speaks?" My bad. Oh, okay. We was on the same page. Yeah, she said, "Why do y'all believe Father speaks to us now if he couldn't prior to Jesus coming?" And my short answer is, go ahead, Sally. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I just had my mic on mute. Go ahead.
Oh, you had took that gun up out the holster. I thought you were about to use that thing. You know what I'm saying? All
No,
right, let me
no.
start.
You're good.
Okay. No, no. I think that he talks within us. He speaks within us. He speaks in our conscience. Um, and I think that we've always kind of had that.
I think when Jesus came, he gave us, and he went back, he gave us the comforter. And that's why we can speak to him now, like the way we do in prayer. Or before that, we didn't have that. Spirit of truth, yeah.
Also, too, it's like I don't think people are aware. It's like even the American Indians, when Lewis and Clark went across out west and they were going around close to the Tetons and all that, they ran into I think it was the Mandan Indians, and they were all excited. They thought that the Son of God had come back and brought all his brothers and sisters. Then they got real upset because he made them all sick. They had all had these childhood diseases that they hadn't had, and when they swapped goods with them, the goods, like the blankets and stuff, made them sick. They started getting the germs, and they all got sick, and they felt bad because a lot of them died, or unalived, I'm sorry. But it's like, they said that he had already visited them, and he had wounds in his hands and his feet and his side, and he taught them how to love each other and treat each other and stuff like that. And the Cherokee have another thing about it too. So there's like, and that was recorded by Lewis and Clark. So I believe it's true. I think he reaches out to every generation. We just sometimes miss it.
Yeah.
I have a question. Yeah, see you later, Vita. When we pray to Father, do you think it's important, we're to be in a quiet place in our locked room or whatever? Do you think it's important that we pray out loud so that our voice can be heard through our ears and goes into our mind? Do you think that helps, or do you think just using our head voice,
I don't think it
when we
matters.
think things?
I don't think it matters.
I don't think it would matter one way or another.
He knows what you need before you ask. That's what it says. He knows what we need. So
I always pray quietly, and the reason I do that is because I only want Father to hear me, and I don't want the demons and the spirits and everything. If you're saying it out loud, they can hear what you're praying for. So I always pray silently most of the time, and then when I'm rebuking, I do that out loud. That's just for me.
I like that.
That makes sense.
The way I see it, Shannon, it's like there's a formal way of praying, but it's not the necessary. It's not like it's necessary. Just like there's a formal way of driving while following the traffic laws and all that, and waiting for people to go. Or you could just, if you want, just go out there and drive on the sidewalk if you have to. It's not like you can't do it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do that on my bike. I'll use the bike lane, or if I have to, I get up on the sidewalk, but not in a car.
You know that verse that says, go into your room and close the door and all that, to pray? It's like, when you look at that in modern Greek, it's close the portal. That's strange. I was like, wow.
Yeah, so I think it's just trying to say disconnect from the world for a second.
Yep.
And just like focus on me and talk to me.
What portal do you think is being talked about?
I would say the internet. Anything to do connected to the internet. Like turn your computer off, don't have it on,
Put your phone on airplane mode or turn it off.
Right.
These new phones, though, the iPhone 16, you can turn it off and it can still hear you and track you. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just watching something on that. That is.
It's
I don't think it's just the
insane.
iPhone 16. I don't think it's just that one. I think it's
I think
it's since they did Yeah, since they did the battery thing,
With the
where you can't
battery
take your
built
battery out
in.
anymore.
Yeah. Well, I have a Faraday box. I keep my phone in.
Our
I
cell
don't know if
phones
it.
they take a screenshot of us every 3 seconds. And covering your camera doesn't stop. Sometimes I can
Yeah.
see my phone doing it. I can see it.
Yeah, they want to make sure you're nearby. I heard that they'll even send you a notification, like they can withhold your notifications and then send and make you get it when they want to make sure that you are out and about. That's why they say you get notifications late sometimes.
Yeah, on the Windows 11, it's called a recall capture. Screenshots of your desktop activity every few seconds.
I
That's
keep
another
denying
reason.
Windows 11. My computer keeps wanting to update, and I'm like, nope.
That's what it's doing. It's trying to make you and that's what it was doing to me with the slides. Every time I would try to save them to the external drive, it was causing a corruption and wanting me to save them to the cloud instead. Well, when I give it to the cloud, I'll give it to them. So
It'll get to the point where I have to upgrade it for my work. I mean, it's a work
yeah,
computer.
I know.
The technology that we're using for the software that I draw on, we have to have the latest updates on everything. It's unfortunate.
I'm looking to downgrade my phone, and I don't even know what to get, but trying to find a 4G phone is kind of hard.
It'll be used because they will not sell you one, I ask. They will not sell you no phone.
Right. It has to be, you got to get one off like Marketplace or Amazon or Craigslist or something. It's got to be an old phone, right?
Yeah.
I can imagine the conversations of us going into stores and they're like, "Yeah, I would like to downgrade, please." I'm like, "What? Downgrade?"
Well, what they do also is they'll quit updating your phone if they don't want you to have it anymore. They just won't support it, and so you can't get any upgrades on it. And which I don't know if that's a bad thing or not, because who knows what they're putting in it when they upgrade it.
Yeah.
That's why.
More tracking and tracing.
That's why I asked. Do you think there's going to come a time when we're just going to, bury these things in the ground and we won't even be able to communicate except with smoke signals and?
I don't know if we'll even be able to sustain like that, because they're going to drive people out of the countryside into the cities, and it's like if you're not connected, you won't be able to do anything. You won't even be able to eat, and they know that. They know what they're doing.
That's why I always say, prepare for the worst. Hope for the best. If I got to unalive of hunger, so be it.
Just have to kind of go with whatever happens to us. But it's like we don't have to consent. We don't have to become a part of it. It'll be hard. It won't be easy, but
Yeah. That's why I was telling Boston Cat the other day. We still got a choice. It just sucks.
Delano, do you have? Can you ask Trevor to come up? He's trying to come up, but he can't.
let me see.
He has questions about the two Jesuses.
I sent him an
I
invite.
tried, but he said he couldn't accept, but I don't really know what his.
I shot him one as well.
I think we all have, and I think that might cause a problem. I'm not sure.
Oh, damn.
Not sure how that works, but okay.
Is your
Did he get
profile
up?
set to private?
Does he have to have followers? Because I
don't believe that you do. I don't believe you do. I think it's just your settings. You have to change it from
Yeah,
private.
he's work. But Jen said he's questioning her question. I missed it. You know, I got hungry and I was getting some snacks.
He said that he has questions about the two Jesuses. So the best way for him to do that is to come on up. But if he can't come up, he can put them in the. Oh, he's changing his settings.
Yeah.
He's trying to change his settings.
We can give him a second. No worries.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Jen,
I've never
today
heard
the
from
day?
him before.
Are you gonna come up today, Jen? Jen always has, interesting things to say in the comments, and you're a smart lady. Love to hear from you. Oh, okay. She said it's because I think he's requesting right now. Oh no, that's Jen.
I think that was Shannon.
Oh, good.
Oh, Jen's
There's Jen. We'll see if Trevor will come up too.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Jen.
Hey,
I think my earbud is on the verge of dying.
Go
No,
ahead
no,
and talk,
earbud.
Jen.
Yeah, I think his question was because I saw the chat, but it's moving too fast and the screen, like the image is like my old lady eyes can't see it with the picture on there. But I think it's because I said that we didn't know the Father prior to Jesus coming, because it said because Jesus said nobody knew the Father. I'm here to show you his works. And then he started asking the question. So I think my question sparked his confusion.
Well, you're a good lighter, Jen. Hopefully,
Hopefully
thumbs
he
up.
can get his settings straight so he can come up and ask his questions.
yeah.
The invite's still on there, so.
Tim, what are you chomping on?
He muted.
Oh my goodness, man! Are you gonna put me on the spot like that? All right, I'm ready for everybody to judge me.
You have to share with the whole class.
Hot cheese puffs.
Oh, did you bring enough for everybody?
Busted. Freaking busted. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Ted, how you know these truths and eat like that?" I know, man. I know. Hey, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, right? Oh, now I'm quoting Yahweh, ain't I? I'm just gonna go on
Oh, but
mute.
I say that all the time. I do say that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, a broken
That's how
clock
I
is right
justify
twice
all
a day.
the bad food.
Oh, they did a good job, didn't they? And making me eat their crap.
They're making all of us eat their crap. You know?
You know what? Even if you make it at home, it's not the same, because I have this cookie sitting on my counter that's 6 weeks old. My kids and I did for a science experiment to see like how long it would take for the cookie to go bad. And it still looks like a cookie. No mold, no nothing. And it doesn't have sugar in it. So it's just, like a healthy cookie we made at home. And like every day my son's like, "Can I eat it?" It's nothing wrong with it. I'm like, I think the fact that there's nothing wrong with it says there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, if nature don't want to do its job on it.
Yeah, even my house plants grow funguses, so something's not right there.
Reminds me of a cheeseburger that I found in the hallway at my mom's old apartments. It was there for like months.
Oh,
The ants still didn't come and take it home. And I'm like, damn, if ants won't eat it,
I
And here I
found
am.
French fries in my kids' car seats that still look like French fries.
yeah.
And when they come out, it's like rocks hitting the floor when you turn
See,
the
don't-
car seat over.
Oh my goodness. You can't trust clowns.
It's gross.
You can't trust them. And again, what's in those shoes?
I think he said for a second, I see, and then I don't know what happened.
Uh, I don't even see him anymore.
I don't either. He might be trying to reset his phone. He might have had to exit the app to do that. I'm not sure. Maybe, hopefully, he'll come back.
Why every time we
Well,
got
it
someone that
happens
got
to me a
questions?
lot when I'm watching. It'll just go quiet, and then I look, and it's buffering, and I'll exit, and I'm not even on the panel, and it'll do that to me several times.
That's weird. TikTok sometimes does crazy things.
It's full of glitches. We like every time we go on, we have glitches on here. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it cut out for like 10 minutes. I was in the kitchen and my phone was upstairs, and I was like, okay, well, I guess it's buffering. And the really weird thing is, like, when I did go back to my phone, it was like the conversation was still going like right where it had stopped. It was like a couple of days ago.
That's
Sunday,
weird.
I think. Yeah, and it was like no time had passed. It was like still, it was weird. It was really weird.
It does some weird
Because
stuff.
I know there's no replay feature on here like YouTube when there's a live.
My YouTube was buffering today. There were some bunch of times I was trying to open the app and it wouldn't open. We were talking about cell phones. I've literally restarted my phone probably 3 times today because I couldn't get connections to go through.
I heard that they do that when they're cleaning up things, like erasing people's videos. On that same Instagram I told y'all about earlier, I have a screenshot of videos that's been deleted that I didn't delete. It's just a deleted video, and it's like a whole row of them in my, history. So
I have stuff missing too. My camera roll only goes back 10 years and then it stops.
just 10 years, right? That's it. Jeez.
Have you guys seen with the North Carolina stuff where people who have videotaped stuff they've literally wiped them off their phones and stuff?
Wow.
They literally wiped
Okay,
them.
I've
And that's what
recorded
they're
stuff
going to do that with
before.
the entire. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They're going to wipe the entire thing, like anything they don't want to have accessible to people to see what the lies are and whatever. Then they're going to delete it. They're already taking. Actually, I heard also that there is an AI program that will literally they just press one or type one name or press one button and it wipes off a whole sector of the internet. So that could take care of all pictures or all videos or all business stuff or whatever.
Mandela
I've
effect, I
recorded
think.
stuff before, and I can see it on my phone while I'm recording it, and it shows I'm recording, and then I go back and I play it back, and it's just a black screen. It's not even there.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
People
Yeah,
doing
I
the
don't trust
cleanup
that we're
up
going to have
there.
it. Yeah.
The people doing cleanup are starting to get sick from the water and the mud. They've been coughing blood and all kinds of stuff, and they don't know what's causing it.
Yeah, well, we all know what's causing it. It's all we saw that one video today of all of the sewer plants and stuff that have been destroyed. All of, everything is going into their waterways, everything. Imagine the toxins from even just the homes, natural gas, just you name it. It's all in there. So it's sad.
Yeah, the whole thing is just so sad to me.
Yeah, it's horrible. Yeah, and the fact that it's not just there. If anybody's awake, they're seeing that it's in Italy, it's in Japan, it's all over the world. They're doing it. It's not just there. It's in Canada. It's everywhere.
Well, they have that going on in Asheville, and then they have the fires that are going on in Oklahoma. I got a couple friends in Oklahoma, and they
Right.
both sent pictures today about how close, and even Clay.
Has anybody heard
I
from
was
Clay
just
today?
wondering. I was just going to say the same thing. Have you heard from him?
No,
Geez, I hope he's okay.
I do
You haven't
too.
even heard from him.
But my friend sent me a photo this morning, and it was about 3 miles from her property. She lives in Oklahoma, and I was like,
Wow.
Terry, get out of there. It was too close. She photographed it from her front porch. So, like, there's, fire, water, whatever Yahweh wants to use to
Yeah,
destroy us.
exactly.
He's the
And he
storm
will.
god,
Yeah.
I
Well,
hope
I
that
don't see
fire didn't
Trevor
get
coming
his
back.
place. I really do.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking the same thing.
Because
I
we
don't
hadn't
see
heard.
Trevor coming
And
back.
I asked him last night to keep us updated.
Hey, Boston, did you have another question?
Yes, hello. I'm sorry. I have no idea how I joined. I'm like literally walking my dogs.
Oh, well, you hit an invite, so I accepted it.
Night, Marie.
I'm sorry. I'm over here playing with my phone, trying to turn the volume or something up. No, but I actually did want to mention something. There's a TV show. It's called The 100. I don't know if anybody on the panel has seen it. It's about people surviving cataclysmic event and and some people surviving in space, aka the aliens, and then some people are surviving on the planet's surface, aka us.
You're breaking up a little bit.
Into
We lost
space to
you.
Yeah,
escape
yeah, we
another.
lost you, brother. You can't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't mean to join, but perhaps I'll call back later and then I'll finish the story.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good, brother.
Awesome. Thank you. Sorry. Bye.
Bye.
Oh man, I kind of wanted to hear it too. I mean, I, I was hearing him
I
just
wish that
fine.
we had have. I wish that we had have let Trevor just ask his questions in the comments, because we would at least have them.
Yeah, but maybe we can get to him. I was gonna say we can maybe get him in the Discord where we can talk to him.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions from YouTube? I didn't even get to go on there today.
I was just booting it up too, honestly. Let me see.
I didn't go on there either.
I know there's at least a couple.
Is there anybody in the comment section that has any questions?
Scriptural truth. They need to make you pop up faster. There we go.
Bubble Boy, do you have any questions? You want to come up and join us?
All right, I'm just booting up the YouTube right here, and okay. Let's see. That's not a question.
I got a
Bubble Boy's
question.
up there. We can let him have his question.
Oh, hey, Bubba, my bad.
Go ahead.
Hey, Bubble Boy.
Y'all hear me okay?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How about your hope you're okay?
I'm doing pretty good.
My ex-minister used to have, he's passed on now, but he used to call himself a prophetic type minister, set apart, and we'd hear revelations at the end of every sermon. And, it'd go back to what he would call our blessed hope, and that being a place of safety. Talk about how there will be the woman who would be nourished for a time and a half a time, and how the dragon would go after the woman and couldn't reach her and would go after her offspring. But my question, it talks about after the 1,000 years was up in Revelation 20, how there was a second resurrection, and that he that took part of that second death had no power over him. And I'm just kind of hearing a lot of Yahweh everywhere, and just kind of throwing Revelation out of the window. But I don't think I should do that. I should probably look at maybe there's some truth in there. But what about that second death that has no power? Do you know anything about that?
Would you like me to read that part?
Sure, Revelation 25 or something like that.
Artist, I'm sorry. He did ask it. You can answer that first if you want.
No, go ahead, and then we'll answer after we read the, because I want to refresh my mind on what it says.
Yeah, same. That's why. Was it 21? I can. Yeah, it's 21 and 22, and those are the last two. So I saw a renewed heaven and a renewed earth, for the former heaven and the former earth had passed away, and the sea is no more. Right there, right? Is what you talking about?
No, I'm looking at Revelation 25. But the
Oh,
rest of the dead, men shall not. Well, I'm in a different version here online,
oh,
but
okay. Yeah,
in years until the 1,000 years are finished, and then heaven resurrection. After that will be then heaven, new heavens and earth. But there's that
got you.
1,000 years.
Yeah, Revelations 20. Man, I think 4 is a good place to start
Yeah.
to give the context. It says, "And I saw thrones, and they sat on them, and judgment was given to them, and the lives of those who had been beheaded because of the witness they bore of Jesus, and because of the word of God, and who did not worship the beast nor his image, and did not receive his mark upon their foreheads or upon their hands. And they lived and reigned with Messiah for 1,000 years. And the rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years were ended." This is the first resurrection. Right there, right? Should I keep going?
Yeah, and it says before that on verse 2 how the dragon was bound for that 1,000 years.
Yeah, the serpent of old, who is the devil and Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years.
But yeah, he's going to come back to life again after that 1,000 years. And has it happened yet? Are we in that? I mean, trying to figure out.
Yeah, because before that they say he's going to get thrown in a pit for 1,000 years, right? And then it
Yeah.
speaks about the people that lived during that 1,000 year period in verse 4. And then in verse 5, it says the rest of the dead did not come to life until the 1,000 years ended. So now it's talking about the end of that 1,000 years. And they call it the end of that 1,000 years the first resurrection.
Well, it seems like there's I don't
It
know,
says,
somewhere that, yeah, there's a second resurrection somewhere. I'm looking at my
I can
phone.
continue to read it. "Blessed and set apart is the one having part in the first resurrection. The second death possessed no authority over these, but they shall be priests of God and of Messiah, and shall reign with him 1,000 years."
Yeah, I
It's
guess
speaking about the
that's,
1,000 years again.
yeah.
So
So when is the 1,000 years?
that's strange, because if that is the first resurrection, after that happens, and then in 6 it's saying that blessed and set apart are the ones that participated in the first resurrection, and then they're saying now they're about to live for 1,000 years again with Messiah. That's how I'm seeing it. Now maybe when artists translate that, we're gonna get something completely different.
Yeah, I haven't translated that one yet, but I think that it's like, I think that the 1,000 years already happened, and that's when all these big cathedrals and stuff were built. That they don't even know how they would reconstruct them today if they tried. You know.
What if that 1,000 years? What if it's 2,000 years? What if those are 2,000 years? And then it says that when the 1,000 years have ended, Satan shall be released from his prison. I don't know. I think that's still referring to the same spot. So maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I
Well,
think I can't wait to translate it.
the 14th verse says the second. This is the second death. The death in hell is thrown into lake of fire, and that's the second death.
Mm-hmm.
I was always trying to relate that to, I think, Ezekiel 36, where the dry bones in the valley were given the spirit and they rose up from the grave. And I talk
Hold
about how
on.
you won't see your teachers anymore.
There's a verse in
Yeah,
Isaiah that is literally similar to that part right there that you're talking about.
Ezekiel parallels Revelation.
I want to say it was Isaiah 46, but I might be wrong. It's been so long since I looked at this verse. Let me see.
Also, it talks about one of my favorite scriptures of it's like Hosea 5:4, I think it is, where it talks about every man will turn his weapons into pruning hooks and they will worship their God. And it's a lowercase g, and it says, and we will worship our God. They kind of described it as being like the kings of the earth will be your servants, and the queens will be your nursemaids. As if, if you're a follower of Jesus, you're going to be somewhat looked up upon during this 1,000 years. And then connecting it to here is like, okay, well, there's going to be the end of the 1,000 years, and Satan's let loose again, and then that's the second death.
This will be interesting to look at the Greek on that.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why Jesus said, "Don't worry about who can unalive the body," you know, but about the one that can unalive the spirit, because it says the sea gave up the dead who are in it, and death and Sheol. And this is why I say death is a person, which is the word God means death. And it says death, and it capitalized death as well. And it says Sheol gave up the dead who were in them, and they were judged, each one according to his works. And death and Sheol were thrown into the lake of fire. So these got to be people. And then there's a verse in Job that speaks about death having a child. And if I could find that verse in Isaiah, that is an exact copy of when it says that fire came out of heaven and engulfed death. I think like the final enemy or something like that in Revelations. I mean, we're close to it somewhere. It says the same thing back then, but it says Satan instead of. Back then it says God instead of, or death, and back then in Isaiah, but in the Revelations it says it's the same event happening, but it says Satan. I wish I could find it. Let me see.
I've even seen scripture somewhere talking about there will be sacrifice during that 1,000 years. It led me to believe that because Jesus was going to be on the earth living, you'll see him. And it's not a faith that we live through now. And so there will be an animal sacrifice reinstituted during that 1,000 years for those that were not born of the Spirit or given the glorified body during that time, but there will also be flesh.
That 1,000 years, though, Bubble Boy, that's JC. That's not our Father.
Yeah.
Our Father's kingdom is above. It's not here. And we believe the 1,000 years has already happened. Christ returning in 70 AD.
Yeah, that turns everything I've ever known on top of its head. So
I know. It did for us too.
I had a feeling that in Revelations 21, it stopped using. Does it stop using the Lord? I don't think I see the Lord. Oh, never mind. I do see it in 22. Yeah, never mind. I don't know. But I found the verse I was talking about, Revelations 29. And they came up over the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of the set apart ones and the beloved city, and fire came down from God out of heaven and consumed them. And the devil who led them astray was thrown into the lake of fire and sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet are. Yeah, and they shall be tortured day and night. Yeah. Now, if I could just find a verse in Isaiah that resembles that. But now that I'm looking at it again, I might be looking at it wrong. I invited Trevor up, by the way. I don't know if when you asked me to invite him again.
Everybody that's on here should add Trevor because he doesn't have any followers or anything. So if everybody can add him, maybe he can,
that
get
would
up.
be
And if he
good.
can add them, yeah.
Trevor, I followed you. You get some followers. I think it might be 200. I can't remember.
I don't have 200 followers.
You don't? I don't know what's the difference in.
I don't either.
I couldn't go up for a long time. It was crazy. Remember how I used to keep trying to go on the lives and I couldn't?
Did you try to change the settings on your phone?
I don't have a phone. I'm on a tablet, but I allowed everything. It should have.
I was
Just
asking Trevor that.
oh,
I can't even see Trevor anymore. Like, dang.
It says he joined at the bottom.
Yeah, in the chat. Just says, yeah.
Oh, hold on.
If that's the same one, I can't tell.
Trevor, did you try requesting again?
I sent him another one. I followed him first and then sent it.
I followed him too, so he's got a few.
But I don't think that matters though, because when I came on, I had 0 followers. You know, I didn't.
I don't think it's about how many followers you have. I think it's about how long you've had your account. Because I've had my account for years and I never used it really. And I had no followers and I came up just fine.
That could be, Jen, because I had my account too for about a year, but I was never on it. Like, I just made one.
I didn't though. I didn't though, Sally. I literally started with this group. That's it. I didn't have it before that.
Same.
Did you have issues coming up on the live or no?
I didn't have any problems at all.
No.
No.
Trevor, you can type your comments out in the chat.
yeah, we'll try to do them if you can do that.
Get away, Satan.
Yeah, no kidding.
Maybe it's whether your account is verified or not. Like how you set it up.
Might be.
You know, if it's linked to another app or whatever.
That could be.
I still
I think
can't
that's a
find
big
that.
possibility, actually, Jen. I think that's a huge possibility that you have to have it connected to something else, some other internet app, whether it's your YouTube, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah, I think almost everything you use now wants you to be verified in some way. Take a picture of your driver's license, verify your Facebook mostly, which kind of sucks.
Hey, the good news is we got Trevor asking questions in the comments now, at least, so we
Yeah.
can still do that.
got a question.
He says, I have no idea how to use the app, so he apologized. But he said, did both Jesus regularly interact with the apostles? I think so. I don't know about everybody else on the panel.
I think so.
Yeah, from what I've read so far, I would say yes. I've been trying to go a chapter a day and just look at which Jesus I think is talking, and it's interesting, very interesting.
Yeah, I think that verse when it says that they discussed amongst themselves who was greater, I don't think they were talking about themselves, Trevor. I think they were talking about which Jesus was greater because they've been interacting with both of them. And I think it actually makes 0 sense for them to be talking about themselves according to what Jesus teaches, you know. So I think that's an interesting part to start, place to start.
I don't know if it's a good scripture to use, but I like to test the spirits. So if the comment involves killing, stealing, or unaliving, stealing, and destroying, it tells you who they're talking about.
Yeah, that's definitely a good way to. Their nature is always the best way to tell people apart. And I think Jesus said the same things. But yeah, I was But about if they interact with both, I think definitely.
Trevor, I don't know if you've watched any of Scriptural Truth YouTube channel. I mean, that's where we post these lives the next day, but there's a bunch of videos on there that talk about the two Jesuses. Did Father warn us that Yahweh was the devil? I just linked it in the comment section. But if you haven't had a chance to watch any of Artist's videos on Scriptural Truth, that'd be a really good place to start. Yeah,
I think when he revealed himself, kind of like how what the the whole, and this is regarding Shannon in the comments when he said Revelation is chock full of unaliving and destroying. I think that, like, let's say, hey, you seen the movie They Live. If these people, entities, whatever, revealed themselves to us, and even so, the same thing with Jesus Christ, out of the sky, revealing to be a unaliver. I think the world will go crazy, and chaos will happen, and they'll be forced to unalive many people that's not going to be accepting what they're revealing to them. Just my thoughts. Let me see if there's another question down there. Nope. I can try the YouTube questions real quick. Or just comments as well. Like Little Feet said that we have to watch the show From. A bunch of people being trapped in the town trying to get out. They even build a tower that gets destroyed. A lot of truth in that show. There's a lot of truth in a lot of the shows, I think, too. So, um, let's see. Trevor. Oh, is this the same Trevor from YouTube? All right, Trevor. Let me see. It says, don't know if you mentioned this before, but it's funny that St. Peter is the one supposedly waiting at the gates of heaven. He's a gatekeeper.
Oh wow, that
Yeah,
was
trying to keep you out of heaven.
Well, I answered that one, I think, to Trevor. I told him that I don't think that's the truth because Jesus said he's the door. You know, I think that was the.
He's the door. He's the door. But maybe Peter's the gatekeeper trying to stop us from going in to the
That's
door.
what's in the music industry. There's gatekeepers. In the film industry, there's gatekeepers.
He said if anybody else tries to climb in another way, they won't make it because
Yeah,
he's the only
but
way in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because that's the door, right? Like he's the door, right? But who's to say that Peter's not trying to put stumbling blocks in our way, right?
That binding and loosening is not correct, though. I don't think. I
Yeah.
think that
Well,
that's a Jewish concept, and that is witchcraft. When you bind or loosen something, that's a witchcraft spell.
What about the 10 wise or the 10 virgins? 5 were wise, 5 were foolish, and they had to have oil in their lamps. I always thought that, getting into heaven, and then some were found and they were thrown out without their clothes.
that's a good one to translate to help understand too.
I think that's talking about the nuns that joined the Catholic Church because and Jesus told us in heaven they neither marry nor are given in marriage.
I wanted to
Actually,
comment on a gatekeeper. Oh, sorry, my bad, Bubble Boy.
I'm sorry, I just finished with, they said you had to go back to the earth where they sell the oil and get more of it, that they were asking the other virgins for some of their oil because theirs had run out. Wondering kind of what that signified.
Yeah, I am curious about that. I just wanted to get this thought out because I ran out of room on my paper here. Um, about the gatekeeper thing. Did Jesus? I mean, and maybe he did. Like, because I'm just can't remember off the top of my head. But did he say he was the gate or the way? And then the gatekeeper is someone that's trying to stop us along our way to Father. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He used the word door, I think.
He used the word door.
Yeah.
Just a thought. But yeah, I didn't want to deviate from the current uh topic at hand, which I already forgot. So Bubble Boy, help me bring it back.
Can help
Just a
distract.
question, but does door and gate mean the same thing in Greek?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm just curious if there is such a thing as a gate. And he's the gatekeeper, but he's not the door. We know that. I'm just curious now.
I can't remember where I heard this, and I was trying to find it, but I thought I heard somewhere that door is word backwards.
say that again.
That door is word backwards. I can't remember what language, maybe Hebrew.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
they
it
do
is a
it.
gate too. It says from Strong's. It says it's a portal, an entrance, an opening, a closure, literally or figuratively, the door or gate. So it is a gate.
The door or gate. Yeah, it's all
Mm-hmm.
one then.
And
That
that's
settles it.
literal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that is the same Trevor. He did say that in the chat, right? Awesome.
So closing your portal during prayer must be just close your door, your closet door.
Right.
Is this a question from? Let me see. Okay. Oh no, that's not even a question. Okay, I'm sorry. Give me one sec, guys.
Why would you close your door unless you're speaking out loud? I mean, what would that mean? I don't know.
Well, you know, when you get quiet, you go in your bedroom and you shut the door and you pray. You feel a lot more connected to Father than when you're out and about with all the stuff going on, noise. You know.
I never felt comfortable praying out loud with my voice unless I'm praying with somebody else so they can hear. I always thought that was just kind of held me back. I mean, I can think to God better than I can speak out loud.
Me too. Me too. I'm the same way.
I don't think you have to, yeah, speak out loud. I like it says he knows every thought. He knows what you need before you even ask. You know, like I think you just talk to him like Sally and I and Gullen have talked to him like he's there with you all the time, and you're, you know, just it's a constant daily thing. We're just constantly talking to him.
Yeah, I
I
have
do.
like an ongoing conversation with him every day. It's wild. And he answers too in roundabout ways. He always answers me.
Yana Sharma on YouTube said, "Hi all," and he says, "Artist, have you tried hyssop for your insomnia? You can try a tincture or dry herbs root. It works great for my clients. Abba bless you all."
Oh, I haven't tried that. I might have to try that. I tried melatonin. I don't like the hangover I get with melatonin.
Melatonin never did anything for me to help me sleep. I tried it a couple times.
I slept good last night too.
All right.
Yes, I was happy.
I bet you were. Makes a big difference, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. I had a much more productive day after sleeping good.
Me too.
Awesome. Lake
Okay.
Fork. Oh, go ahead.
No, because we kind of took it back and I wasn't up here. But I don't get responses when I pray. I don't think I hear anything. And I'm not going to say like they're unanswered. And I don't have testimonials, but I don't hear like ethereal voices.
Me either.
And when I do pray, I have like super crazy dreams. I can't make heads or tail of it. And it doesn't seem like it's good at all.
Yeah, I don't hear voices either, Jen. But what I will hear or experience is it's like intuition. It's like
Gut feeling.
and like a thought will come into my mind that is something that I wouldn't have said. Does that make sense? Like it's my voice, it's my thought, but it's something I wouldn't have said. And I know it's not of me. And I know it's a good direction. It's, you know, if it was something that wasn't sending me in a good direction, then I would definitely know it's not him.
No,
You
I
know, I
get
think that's
that.
where
I
the
mean,
faith
I have
part.
those epiphany moments, but I just feel like I don't have that, like, you know, conversation people say they have. I mean, whenever, and this may just be weird, but it's always like I have the thought at the most random time, like I'm in the shower and I'm like, why am I trying to talk to God right now? This is weird.
No, it's not really weird. You're isolated. You've got the freshness of the water pouring over you, and you're just like everything else is just kind of washed away for the day, and it's a real good time to hear him. It really is.
I pray in the shower a lot. That's one of my prayer closets is
Yep.
the shower.
Yeah.
In the car. Driving in the car. I
Yep.
accidentally called Father Lord today, and then I had a 2-minute diatribe apologizing for calling him Lord. I'm
Yep.
sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry,
I've done
Father.
that before and I get so upset.
Oh my goodness, Jen, I was gonna say, dang it, you made me laugh so hard. I forgot exactly what I was gonna say.
I
You
just feel
was,
like it's always that awkward situation. It's like, oh, I'm so exposed right
oh,
now. Why are you trying to have a conversation? You wouldn't do that with anybody else.
yeah, but
And it's like
Jen, they
I just
make
have
it.
this like weird random thought at a really awkward time.
When
And I'm
I
like,
had
no, let me
that,
get back to you.
Jen, when I had that encounter with Jesus and he was in the room, I couldn't see him, but it was like he was talking to me like telepathy. The minute he ran through everything in my life, showing me all the good, bad, and ugly, and all the indifferent stuff and everything, it was like I felt naked. I felt like somebody just took and yanked my clothes off and exposed everything about my life. And maybe that's why it doesn't bother me to stand there naked and talk to him. I don't
I was gonna say
know.
that they make it normal to look at a camera, and you know what I'm saying, and talk to a camera and take pictures for a camera all day, but then they make you feel awkward for trying to talk to Father.
I get it.
I think we got to
It's just
normalize it.
my daughter, she speaks to Jesus Father. That's what she calls him, Jesus Father. And anytime something happens, she's like, give me a minute. I need to talk to Jesus Father. And she'll close her eyes and then she'll, whatever she talked to him about, she'll be like, okay, he said it's taken care of.
Oh,
It's really
that's
cute.
wild. That's cute though.
She is so
It
adorable.
is she okay?
How
My
old is she?
she's 8.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
So
think
my
kids
dad
do
was
hear him. I do think they do hear him.
I think
Yeah.
she's kind of the reason we went on our journey because I grew up in church, but to me it was terrifying. Like I came home crying, I was always scared, I'd have nightmares. I'm like, this is terrible. Why do you keep sending me here? Just everything they talked about seemed so like awful. And I'm like, I'm supposed to want to go to this place when I die and be with this person that does these things. It was just scary. And I kind of just put it away. Like once I was done with school and I wasn't forced, by my parents to go, I just let it, it was out of my life. And I had like a calm about it, I guess. And then with my kids came along, they were always asking questions. And my daughter kept saying she was talking to Jesus. And I'm like, oh my gosh, is she talking to like, I felt weird, like, oh, what is she talking to? And I would ask her questions like what they were saying. And it was just really weird. And then that's like, I need to start digging into this so I can answer their questions and I know how to talk to them, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's awesome though. I think we're very connected when we're little children, and then as the worldly stuff hits us, we kind of get disconnected more, and then once we find Jesus, we kind of go back to that childlike faith, that childlike reasoning where we can just say, okay, Father, I need help right now. And it's like he's
It's
right there.
it's
We try
hard
to gain our
because
innocence back.
my son is cynical about it and he teases her and I don't want him to influence her.
Oh no, I
But
wouldn't either.
my mom has told him that there's no God. And he believes her because she's old. Oh, she's older, so she knows more than you. That's literally what he said to me. And he said it's because my stepbrother has been ill like his whole life. And he goes to church and they pray for him, but he's never gotten better. He's only getting sicker. And I was like, well, is it kind of bad to say? I was like, but maybe he's not praying the right way or to the right person, or there's no sincerity in it. And then we had like an incident like with my dad recently, and I think he still doesn't get it though, but the doctors say what happened was miraculous. So I wish he could see, but it's hard. My
I
daughter is
think
like full of faith and my son is not.
Well, I think people take that verse wrong where when they're asking Jesus, it's like, who sinned? Was it his parents? Was it him? When the boy is not well or he's blind, or I think he's blind in that passage, but it's like he said neither. It's because so the works of Theos in this world will be known. It's like, okay, everybody in this world expects you, if you're in the right relations with Father, to be healed. And that's not necessarily so. I think that when people are not well in this world, they're showing, like he said, everybody believes in his name, the wrath of Theos no longer remains on them. But it's like still, I think that the God of this world tries to hurt us as much as possible, which is sad, but I think it's true. Because he said
My
we're in
okay,
the
my
underworld.
I'm sorry. I think it's been like
You
three
also have
months
someone
ago.
else up on the panel.
We were told that my dad had end stage cancer,
Right.
and it was just radical chemo treatments, and they were only going to try 3, and they're like all day. They're like 10 hours, and I was begging him not to do it because I thought there were other things that could be done, and I gave him alternatives, but he was adamant about it. And this is my daughter. She saw that, we were getting pictures of him at the hospital his first day of chemo. And she's like, why is Pawpaw like that? What's wrong with Pawpaw? What's he doing? And so I told her, well, Pawpaw's lungs aren't good and his lungs are very sick. And she's like, I need to talk to Father Jesus. And she prayed and she tells me that his lungs are healed now. And we just found out that he has no cancer.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Though they're still doing chemo. I'm not happy about it, but I mean, it is amazing. And I tried to use that incident to, that situation with my son. My daughter's just, like I said, she's so happy, like blissfully loving and happy. And my son, I don't know, maybe it's hormones.
Well, I asked Father, when my daughter was 2, I had cancer 3 times. And the third time it came back, I was laying in the bed. And my name is Galan Waya. It's a very unusual name. You know it if you hear it. And I'm at the medical facility, and the students are out there with the doctor. And I hear her say, Miss Waya has the most rapid moving cancer we've ever seen. And my daughter is 2, and they've not told me this. And I'm getting ready to go to surgery. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why did they not tell me that? And I just started praying immediately. I was like, Father, I said, my kid's 2. I said, she needs me. At least let me live to see her grown and able to take care of herself. And, of course, when they came back in the room, I said, you should have told me how bad this was. I said, I heard every word you said out in the hall, and I have a 2-year-old. I have to make plans for her if I'm leaving here. And they went in, they did the surgery and everything, and it's like, then I'm going to this Native American gathering, and Grandfather John Henry Crow's there, and he came up to me. I'd had the surgery. I was in a lot of pain. He told me, he said, you've got cancer, don't you? And I said, yeah. He said, it's bad. He said, but I tell you what, if you drink this stuff I give you here, he said, you'll get well. He said, don't worry. He said, and he was a big believer in Jesus. He said, Father's got you on this. I said, okay. So he gave it to me, told me how to do it. It was a tea. You had to brew it. You had to drink it 3 times a day and keep it in amber jars and all this stuff. And he said, don't worry about it mixing with any of their meds they're giving you. It'll be fine. And they were still watching the tumors, and I started drinking the tea, and I just believed him because I felt like Father really heard my prayer. And it's like the tumors started shrinking. They were talking about taking me back to surgery. The doc measured him again, and he said, I'm not believing this, but your tumors are going away. And I said, oh, good. I said, that's great. I said, that's what I expected. And he said, what? I said, that's what I expected. And it's like, then he said, "What do you mean? What you expected?" I said, "Well, I'm drinking the Essiac tea, and Grandfather Henry Crow told me that this was gonna get rid of it, and I prayed to Father, and I think it's gonna happen." And he said, "Well, we're gonna keep watching you. I want you in every 4 weeks, and we're gonna continue to measure." Do you know they completely went away? No cancer whatsoever. They just kept shrinking and shrinking. And I just thanked him and thanked him. And let's see, I'm 60, 64 now, and my daughter is 34. So, and it's like she's able to take care of herself now. So I believe he does. He answers us.
He knew he
No,
had a,
I mean, I
he had
see
a
it,
mission
but I
for you.
haven't.
I think she's just saying she hasn't heard anything or feel when she's praying, but she doesn't. She doesn't. She said that she doesn't necessarily mean, or she doesn't necessarily believe that he's not answering, though. Am I correct, Jen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's answering whether you actually hear him, like in your brain or not. He's still answering.
I
And
kind of
you'll
think
see
of
the results of those answers. You might not hear them, but you'll see the results.
yeah,
I
like when
don't
my mom
pray
say
out
take out the
loud.
trash, I just go do it. Don't even say anything back. Oh,
I don't pray out loud, but I do, like, I guess in thought. And it was something like the same day my daughter and I and my son, um I don't know, I guess I felt like I had been really upset. I was crying. It was my dad. And I just felt like a calm, and I felt like everything was fine. And I made such a big deal about it, though. I taunted him a little bit about doing it because he said he was doing it because he wanted to keep eating steak. And what I wanted him to do was, something healthier where you couldn't eat meat and all that. So I would call him and, "You want me to DoorDash you some steak to the hospital?" "No, I can't eat. I'm too sick."
Oh man, bless his heart.
But I know, I guess he's been fine, and it's great. I actually saw the pictures. He was riddled. And this is the really sad thing. I'm not telling people to do this either, but he is a smoker and has been a smoker his whole life. And he did not quit smoking. And he's still fine.
Wow. Did we lose Donald? I thought he was coming up. Or he was up.
Yes, that's what I was gonna
yeah.
say.
I was
We
trying to
lost
invite him back
Dawn,
I
and
again.
was fixing
Trevor's
to.
trying to get back up. If you can ask Trevor, like if you
Been
can
looking
send him a
for him.
request. Well, I can't do it because I don't see his name, but maybe
Because I was
Donna
fixing to
does.
talk to Donald, and now I don't see him.
I know he dropped, and then he
Come
he
back,
left actually.
Donald. Baby, come back.
I
I
try to
don't see
give
him.
everybody plenty of time to express themselves because, I mean, we're in a
Yeah,
world where we don't even get to really talk. It's like to me it's important.
yeah. Can you
Yeah.
get Trevor up, Gonov, or
Let me try.
okay? He's on his computer now.
I don't even see him now. That's crazy.
He's
Yeah.
right here at
See,
the
that's
bottom.
weird because I don't. See,
I don't see him either.
well, he's in the chat, but
I
he's
asked
not
him to
in the.
request. He didn't
Got an
come through.
invitation sent, so we'll see if it
Okay.
goes through.
Okay.
He doesn't know where the request is on his
It's
computer.
on the Oh,
Yeah, and I don't. Maybe Gonov knows that because I don't use a computer.
I'm on my tablet when I'm doing the lives. I can't do it on my computer right.
Okay.
I tried, and every time I
Anybody on
put
here
something
on
on
the
the screen
computer?
and I go to talk, it drops off. So I don't know what the
Yeah.
deal is.
I did want to bring up something that you or comment on something that you brought up. I think that when you brought up how we're supposed to be innocent and how we were young, and as we got older we became less and less innocent.
Right,
I think they stole our innocence. Like Jesus said, become innocent again, become wise as well, right? Innocent as doves,
right.
wise as serpents. Well, if we were innocent at while we were kids, that means we have to regain that back. We have to reclaim it. And I think that proves that the fallen, they've been stealing our innocence since the beginning, since the garden even. You know, and remember when I brought up that before religion, before the fallen angels, I think if they never did what they did, if they never introduce themselves to us, we have a better chance of coming to Father. We'll have a better chance of maintaining our innocence, you know?
I think that's why they're going after the children too, because they know that the children are more connected, and
Oh,
that's why
yeah.
they're coming after them in their youth, to
They're
get
getting the
them.
problem at the root.
Yep.
I was going to tell Trevor too. One thing that helped me with the controls on everything was I went on YouTube and looked for videos on it, and it'll show you the screen and where things are. That helps a lot. Now I don't know on the computer on coming up on a live because I never could get my computer one to work. Now the tablet works fine, but I think it's because they made the app for phones and tablets and not for
Computer.
the computers. Yeah.
Well, usually
Uh,
on the computer, they condense everything into those hamburger bars. So maybe look for the lines or the dots and see if something drops
True.
down.
True. That's true.
on YouTube, Lake Fork wiring. I'm sorry, forgive me, brother. I know where the scripture is that says basically that the devil can be saved if he chooses to. I will show you next time I visit your live. We look forward to hearing from you. And he said, yes, we could be the people that died before, or that died unalived pre-Jesus, or before the door out. I'm not sure what he means by that.
I'm not sure either.
There's only a couple more if if you guys want me to knock them out.
Sure.
Um, this person said, why do people prescribe to this idea of free will when from simply observing the world, you know it doesn't exist? We have a will, but ultimately that will is subject to the forces around us and above us. And I think you even commented on that one. I think I see it. Well, I think, and we covered that multiple times.
Yeah, I
How,
don't agree with that.
yeah, you
I don't
still
agree
have
with
free
that. We
will.
have
The
free will.
choices might suck, but you still have the free will. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Um, Alexis Franco says artist. Oh, the last one was Commander 360 Jet. By the way, this one is Alexis Franco, 6074 artist. I would like to hear your insight with 2 Corinthians 6:15, which states, "What harmony is there between Christ and Belial?" I would like to hear your opinion. Hold on. Because Belial can be translated in Hebrew worthless or without value. Deuteronomy 13:13 and the metaphysical meaning of Belial, Hebrews, whose Lord is Jehovah. Jehovah is Lord, Yah or Jah is Lord, Jehovah is Baal, Yahweh is Baal. I hope you can expand on this for me and friends.
Yeah, I think the JC one was actually um Yahweh, and I think that it's like because he said that they will look on me whom they uh, pierce, and mourn for one as one mourns for a child. It's like I think they're one and the same. If that makes sense, I hope it does.
And I'm sure you'll get some. You'll do some research on it later too.
Oh yeah, I'll look at that and look at the verses around it too, because I always like to read before and after and kind of figure out what they're trying to get at.
It's funny how these questions come up naturally anyway, like over, especially after hearing them, and then we'll be like reading something or, studying something, and then like we'll end up answering something that we didn't even mean to answer. Let me see.
Right.
Remember Eugene Humphrey, the one that said, "I hope you're on fire with the heart."
Yeah.
He is such a. He just comments simple things. He ignores what we say. Hey, we like, yo, what did you mean? He's just like, nope, hello with another heart. That's it.
At least he's giving us heart, so let's assume it's good.
I think he answered the question. uh, last one. Lake Fork wiring. Dang, I'm gonna get your name right. Your favorite Bible author tried to warn you that you're blind here. We see dimly through the glass. Jesus came to give sight to the blind. If you can't admit you're blind, how will you ever see? I don't know if he was like saying that to us or anything, but Elaine, I think you commented on it.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ellen?
I don't know. Have Tim read it.
She said, "Do you have a mirror?" I'm not 100% sure what he's trying to say.
Read the question again.
Your favorite Bible author tried to warn you, dot, 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 that you are blind here, dot, dot, dot. We see dimly through the glass, in quotations. Jesus came to give sight to the blind, dot, dot, dot. If you can't admit you're blind, how will you ever see? Question mark, question mark, question mark. So,
And I said that because he's not looking at himself, who is blind.
oh, is that what you said? I didn't see. Oh, okay. That's
Oh,
what you
Well, I
mean
didn't
by
say
do you
that.
have a
That's what I
mirror?
meant.
Got you.
Yeah.
I
That
wonder
was a
who our
little
favorite
bad.
Bible author is, though. That's what because that's what make it seem like it's an accusation kind of deal, Or maybe he's just saying everyone's favorite Bible author, like in general.
oh,
But
Yeah.
I messaged Clay, guys, to see how he's doing. He did answer me.
How
He
is he?
said, yes, the fires are all over the place, but rain is coming soon, and they're praying. So
Oh, good. I hope
we'll
so.
just keep praying for him that the rain's coming time to save his place. I hope so. He
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I
surrounded
do
by
too.
fire, guys. It's scary.
I'd be getting out of there.
if he can, at this point, he said it's all
Yeah.
around.
I told him to stay awake. Don't go to sleep if it's too close, because most people get hurt because they wait too late to try to evacuate, and you don't want to get caught on the road in the middle of the fires.
Does he have anywhere to go?
Oh, he could get out of there if he needs to. I'm sure they probably got bags packed in the car ready to roll. I bet he was wetting everything down as much as possible, just running the hoses and just spraying everything.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Faye. Her phone's about to unalive. We should call it here. I think we've been on, I don't know,
Yeah, we got all the questions.
2.5 hours. This was a really good one, guys. I enjoyed the questions. I enjoyed all of it.
Good start to Revelation.
I love
I
you
missed
guys.
the whole
And
beginning, so I have to go back and listen.
I think
yeah,
we got
I'll
to
upload it
Revelations
tonight.
1:7.
Say that again, Tim.
Where we got to Revelations 1:7, I want to say.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like far, but there's a lot of material in that first little bit.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yes.
mean, that's
Yeah.
leaving no stone unturned right there.
And I'll upload this one for the people that didn't get to watch the beginning of it. It'll be on YouTube under Scriptural Truth.
Okay. Everybody have a good night.
Good night, Jim Bob.
All right, thanks for coming up, Jen.
Bye,
Y'all have a
Miriam.
It
good
was
one.
nice to hear
Yeah,
Love you
night,
I'm
y'all.
guys.
surprised my kids were quiet this long.
you. Y'all take care.